Now let's look at a story here. Kipchoge Keino, a legend, an icon, sports icon here in Kenya, finding himself in not so good circumstances. The former Kenyan Olympic chief, Kipchoge Keino, may not plead to charges of corruption related to the 2016 Rio Olympics despite surrendering to police. That was yesterday, and that was alongside former sports CS Hassan Wario. So he may become a state witness. They appear in court this morning. They will be arraigned. What do you make of this? Because, you know, again, this is such a hero, sports hero in our country, Mr. Kirwa, but he may not stand trial, according to this article here, but he's meant to plead to charges of misappropriating a total of 18 million shillings. Among the charges facing him are that he gave his son, Ian Keino, 2.4 million shillings to attend the Rio Games.
Well, it's unfortunate because for us, he stands tall among many Kenyans because of the achievements he has had in life. But when it comes now to the tail end of his career and he faces such unfortunate situation, it doesn't really paint a nice picture. But it is gratifying to realize that probably, after all, he may not have been involved directly because it is said that he didn't sign any documentation. And therefore, those who are in charge of the funds may be made to answer for the misadventures that they engaged in at that particular time. So I give him the benefit of doubt, but it is unfortunate that our society has reached a situation where corruption has become so pervasive and almost practically, if you are not corrupt, you are seen not to be so ingenious in making money. And that is what society almost says. Like Mheshimiwa Maanzo, now this is your second term?
Yes.
After 2 terms and he cannot show anything in terms of possession, people will not say the ideas that he was able to impart on young people and many other people of society. They will say, what has he done for himself? So it is unfortunate that our yardstick has changed to material possession, not the capacity, not integrity, and not performance in any other way.
Right. I mean, do you think this will impact him? As much as they could clear him of charges, perception is everything, especially in this day and age, Honorable Maanzo. The fact that he's been tied to this Rio scandal, will he survive this?
First, I want to say that I had an opportunity to work with him. In fact, we attended the 2008 Olympics when I was the sports secretary, and he's a fine gentleman. The first time I heard that there were allegations against him, I was very sure that he was going to be acquitted. About the son, the son is also a sports person, and if your child happens to have made their own achievements and some monies are allocated for their travel, it doesn't really mean your own child cannot benefit because you are up there. I want to say this is a Kenyan icon. I want to tell Kenyans I've had an opportunity to work with him and assess him. He's a very honest person. He has done a lot of work, you know, for the sports activities in the country. I'm very happy he's going to be a witness, because the moment he's a witness at his level, it means we are going to have some convictions. And whoever stole money working with him is not going to survive the trial. They're going to be jailed, and in future, the monies allocated for sports will be saved. There have been a lot of scandals in the sports industry. And again, as a country, we must stop glorifying corruption. The people who are very corrupt are the ones Kenyans think they have it, they are great, they are the ones we elect into positions. What do you expect? If you elect a corrupt person, is even going to make it more and even encourage more people to be corrupt. I like this idea of safeguarding the public's funds. I am very happy he's now a witness, and I believe he's going to be very truthful in court, and some convictions will be arrived at.
You know, Gabriel, someone who may not be as lucky as the former sports CS Hassan Wario, who's alongside him, he's being accused of abuse of office by improperly conferring benefits amounting to 5 million shillings and other charges. Will we see prosecutions? I mean, people are now saying the DPP quite serious, right, and we could see some big fish frying. Do you think we'll actually see conviction here?
Victoria, up until such a time when we are going to see not only prosecutions, but people start serving serious prison times, I think that's when it will rattle home that, you know what, the DPP is very serious about or the system rather of prosecution is quite serious about this thing. Now, notwithstanding the iconic legacy of Kipchoge, I still think there's no man out there who is immune to such tribulations. And the fact that, you know, he's become a state witness, you see, it still does not absolve him entirely out of the issue, because now there's the charge of is it 18 million, which he's supposed to, you know, to come and give or give clear accountability to. The fact we'll agree that he was not signatory to those monies, and you may recall that real thing. Victoria, that thing was so symbolic. I mean, we had our athletes who we are told were not even sleeping in areas where they were supposed to be sleeping. They were not having the comfort that they deserve. And when some came back, they were telling us, or the stories that we had were like, you know, if we had organized ourselves well, we would have brought in more gold medals. So that really speaks volumes to a country like Kenya, where we are, you know, we receive international recognition, but when it comes to planning, I mean, the kits you had, the training kits that were brought in by companies like Nike were left, or people used them, they gave it to their families and things like that. So it was a very convoluted situation. What we need to ask ourselves is, and like you put it out quite clearly, are we going to see heads roll on this one? And honestly, I believe our Heshimiwa, when it comes to sports, I mean, that's one area where we've received a lot of accolades. It is an area where we should really not play with. And if heads are going to roll, whether it's the former CS Wario, this is the best time.